Hello, good afternoon to all of you. I hope all of you are doing good. I'm here enjoying my coffee. Um, Today, I'm going to talk about the loss of ethnic identity in the Sudan. Remember, we do have two Sudans. We do have now the Northern Sudan and South Sudan. Initially, they were one Sudan. But because the South Sudan broke away from the North because of forceful Islamic ideology to the indigenous Africans. That's why the South broke away from the North. Okay? The South broke away from the North because the South came to realize that the North are forcing their Muslim ideology to the South, you know. But today in the North, a lot of of Africans identity because they're Muslim now. Majority of them now being Muslim, now they think that they're now Arabs. Okay, majority of the African indigenous tribes in the north now they're calling themselves Arabs. It's so sad. They lost their ethnicity, they lost their identity, they lost their Africanism. Okay, to calling themselves Arabs. Okay, now for example, you look. These are one of the tribes in the north. Okay, these are Nubians. They call them. These are Nubians. These are ethnic groups in the north. Okay, these are pure blacks, pure indigenous of Africa, the Nubians. Okay, these are the Nubians. But today, if you ask them, who are you? They call themselves they are Arabs. You see, because of forceful Islamic indoctrination, now they call themselves Arabs. You see, are these Arabs? These are not Arabs. These are pure black Africans, the indigenous that call Africa home. It's so sad, you know, because of the religion. Now you losing your identity by calling yourself Arabs. Okay? See? Now, another one is called the Darfurians. This is one of the tribes in the North Sudan. These are the Darfurians. The Darfurians are just black like us, the true indigenous. These are the Darfurians. Now, what is the difference between them and us? Okay? Now, look at the way they dress up. These are Islamic attires. Okay? Now, because of being a Muslim, now they're thinking that being a Muslim, now you're an Arab. So they lost their identity. You know, they lost their identity by calling themselves Arabs. You have to know your identity. You have to know who you are. I am an African, a black African from South Sudan. Okay? You have to know your identity. Don't lose your identity. If you lose your identity, it's becoming a dangerous, very detrimental, because you don't know who you are. You know? You don't know who you are. Okay? These are Darfurians. These are all Darfurians. But today, if you ask them, who are you? They call themselves Arabs. You see? They call themselves Arabs. Just because they are Muslims. Because they are Muslims, now they call themselves Arabs. Because they are Muslim. So you have to know your identity. Very important. You have to know your identity. See? Look, and this, by the way, this is what we call in Muslim is called khalwa. Khalwa is when they're indoctrinating the kids, okay? Teaching them Muslim tradition, teaching them the Quran, okay? And teaching them to abandon their identity. You know? Now, most of these children today, if you ask them who you are, they call themselves Arabs. And yet, we know clearly they're not Arabs. These are black Africans. These are pure Africans. You see? This is the problem of losing your identity. Religion is not your ethnicity. Religion is something that we adapted. Okay, something that we brought in. Is not religion is not something that identifies who you are. It's a secret connection to the divine. Okay, so the Africans in the north, they're losing their identity in big numbers. Okay, they're losing who they are. They need a rescue, actually. We need Pan-Africanists to go to the north and tell them and to re-educate them and to teach them the roots, who they are. You know? Look, these are the Darfurians. These are the Darfurians. Now this, you ask them who they are, they'll call themselves the Arabs. You see? Because of the religion, now they call themselves Arabs. It's so sad. It's so sad indeed. This is the truth that's happening in the Northern Sudan today. A lot of black Africans. There's no actually Arabs in the North Sudan. The few, maybe less than 1%, they call themselves Arab because there's a mixture with them, with the Arabs. Intermarriages and all that, long time ago. But you will not find the real Arabs. The real white Arabs that look like Iraqis, you will not find them in the Northern Sudan. Okay? So, like this, the next one is a Shagia. Shagia in tribe in Northern Sudan. These are the Shagia. Shagia, you see, these are all blacks. But today, if you ask them, who are you? How do you identify yourself? They'll call themselves the Arabs. Are these Arabs? How do you call this guy? This is not Arab. You see? So the tribes in the Northern Sudan, they lost their identity as Africans. It's so sad. It's so sad indeed. You know? Imagine the whole generation lost. They don't know who they themselves are. You know? See? Now, the next tribe in the Northern Sudan is called the Sanablia tribe. Okay? Sanablia tribes. Now, this tribe, if you call them, you ask them, who are you? How do you identify yourself? They'll call themselves the Arabs. Okay? So, these are who they are. Look, just black like us. Pure blacks. You see? Unfortunately, if you ask them, who are you? They will identify, they call themselves Arabs. Remember, religion is not your ethnicity. Religion is something that we adapted secondary. You know? But our DNA is showing that we are black, we are African, pure African, the indigenous of Africa. These are the indigenous of Africa. But because of Islamic ideology, Islamic religion, now they call themselves the Arabs. So sad indeed. So, no? Because if you don't know your identity, it will become a disease. Because you don't know how to identify yourself. You know? You don't know how to identify yourself. You know? So, this one, the next one are the Ja'alin. They call themselves the Ja'alin. Okay? Now, if you look at the face again, who is this? Just black like me. Okay? But if you ask her again, by the way, this one, they are bleaching. They're bleaching themselves to look more lighter skin. Okay? So they look more Arabized. Now like this, if she call herself Arab, if she go to Saudi Arabia or Iraq, the Iraqis will laugh at her. This is not Arab. This is a pure black African. You see? It's so sad. They call themselves Arab. There's no Arab in the Sudan. These are all indigenous Africans. Okay? So these are confusion to the best. You know? Remember during our liberation struggle when we were struggling to get independent from the North. Because we were tired of forceful Islamization. We were tired of Arabization. The Arabs want to force their ideology on us. Okay? So the same people that we're getting resistant, from, are those who are confused Africans. Those confused Africans, you see? They call themselves Arab. They were the one fighting their brothers in the South Sudan. They confuse black Africans, calling themselves the Arabs. They were the one resisting our call for independence South Sudan. You see? So you Africans, you have to be really careful by keeping your identity. You must know your identity. You must know your roots. Okay? You must know your roots. You must know your tribe. You must know your culture. It's really, really very important. So, know your roots. Know who you are. Is very important. So, this is the truth about what is happening. People lost their culture. People lost their culture. Now they call themselves Arab. Okay? They call themselves Arab. Loss of ethnic identity in the Sudan. So until then, my friends, thank you so much for tuning in and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We'll keep enlightening you. We'll keep educating us. You know, your culture is very important. Your identity is very important. Keep your identity. Keep your Africanism. Do not lose it. Okay? You can adapt a religion, but that religion should not identify who you are. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.